Well, I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. So this is a created franchise on MLB The Show 20 for PlayStation 4. This created franchise called the Avengers has taken the place of the San Diego Padres in the National League West. As you can see on the screen, it's late May. The Avengers are in first place in the NL West, 35-18 record. They have a one-game lead over the Los Angeles Dodgers in the division. Let's jump into the next game on the schedule. So it's a four-game set at Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark. The Avengers have lost the first two, 2-1 and 6-4. They won their last game 9-6. There's a chance for them to split the series 2 games apiece. Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, is on the mound. View organization's games. Play game. All preceding games will be simulated. Do you want to continue? Okay. AA injury, auto-utilize. Play full game. We are the away team against the Reds at Great American Ballpark, as you can see. Broadcast. I don't like the MLB Network broadcast style. I like the show, so I'm going to do the show. Chris Pratt is 5-0 on the season. As you can see, everybody's kind of tired. So let's get some backups. Let's go Tom Holland, Clark Gregg. Let's go Dave Bautista, Sebastian Stan. And let's keep it like that. Let's keep it like that. So first of all, we're going to move some guys around. I think that's good. Actually, I don't like Clark Gregg up there. What am I doing? Let's go Chadwick Boseman, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Idris Elba, Sebastian Stan. Let's go Don Cheadle at the end of the lineup. Let's do it. Let's do it. Half a game over the Dodgers in the National League West. Here's the starting lineups. So I hit, I pitch, I field, I run the bases. No, actually, I do not run the bases. The PS4 runs the bases for me, and the difficulty setting is at All-Star. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, game number 54 in a 162-game schedule. No skipped innings, no simulated games. Let's rock and roll. Welcome to Great American Ballpark as the Hollywood Avengers visit the Cincinnati Reds for the fourth and final game of a 4-game series. Aaron Nola makes the start for the Reds. He's 4-4 with a 4.37 earned run average. Leading off for the Avengers is Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America, hitting .318, 6 homers, 35 runs batted in. First pitch of the ball game from Nola. And it's a drive towards the right center field seats. Back goes him to the track. Nice running catch by Nelson Cruz for out number 1. Starting lineup for the Avengers, Anthony Mackie is the shortstop. Chadwick Boseman's at third. Robert Downey Jr. is the first baseman. The catcher, Chris Evans. DH, Mark Ruffalo. Idris Elba is in left. Sebastian Stan is in right. Clark Gregg is the second baseman. And batting ninth and playing center field, Don Cheadle. Chadwick Boseman, 368 home runs, playing third base today. Fastball from Nola is low, ball 1. The Reds are 20-32. That's good for last place in the National League Central Division. Count is 1 ball and no strikes on the late, great Chadwick Boseman. Swing and a miss, the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Chadwick lost his battle with colon cancer in 2020, and may he rest in peace. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. 74 degrees and clear skies here in Cincinnati. Beautiful day for baseball. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike on T'Challa. Inside off the plate. Hitters count 3 balls and 1 strike on Black Panther. 1 out here in the top of the first, no score. And that's a line drive. It will dunk in there for a single to left. It's a 1-out single for the Avengers. First base runner of the ball game. Here's the replay.
That is third.
Line drive to left. Drops in front of Lou Brock in left field. Next up is Robert Downey Jr. First baseman, batting .262, 4 homers, 24 runs batted in. Inside fastball, checks his swing, ball 1. Robert Downey Jr. started it all with his portrayal of Tony Stark in the first Iron Man in 2008. Pitch to first, Bozeman is back. Count is 1 ball and no strikes to Downey Jr. Pitch out, but nothing doing. Chadwick was not stealing second on that pitch. 2 balls and no strikes on the hitter. And he yanks it foul down the first base line into the seats out of play. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Checks his swing in the dirt. Ball 3. Hitters count 3 balls and 1 strike to Tony Stark. And he yanks it down the line, but it will curl out of play. Strike 2. Full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 away. Will the runner be in motion with 1 out on this 3-2 pitch? Outside corner, struck him out looking, and there's 2 away here in the top of the first. That's Nola's first strikeout. Let's look at the replay. Here's the location. Right down the middle. You can't let that go. Next up is the catcher, Chris Evans. Chris plays Steve Rogers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, hitting .302, 6 homers, 24 runs batted in. Runner at first. Quick throw to first. He's back. So 2 outs here in the top of the first. Runner at first base. Pitch to first. He's back. Again, throw to first. Bozeman is back. This is Avengers Baseball. I'm RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. And he fouls it up third base line. Out of play. Strike 1. Mass Effect looks different. Yeah, I pressed the button, the wrong button. Pitch out, nothing doing, count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. When I'm finished with the game, I'll change the title. My mistake. Ha ha ha. Breaking ball, knuckle curve outside. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Steve Rogers, the first Avenger. Runner leads off first. Here comes the pitch from Nola. And he yanks it foul up first base line. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the first, runner at first. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Aaron Nola. And he fouls off the outside fastball, and we'll do it again. So the Avengers are 35-18. They have a half a game lead on the LA Dodgers in the National League West Division. Pitches outside, count will go full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs, the runner will be off. On deck is the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. Here comes the payoff pitch. Outside, he walks him, so it'll be runners at first and second. Now with 2 away here in the top of the first. So the runner. So Chadwick Boseman will be in scoring position at second base as Mark Ruffalo steps to the plate. Mark's hitting .318 with a team-high 10 homers and 40 runs batted in. He has a runner in scoring position at second, but he'll need a hit to get him home. Let's see what happens. That's a deep drive to center, but playable in front of the warning track. Mickey Mantle makes the catch to retire the side. So they strand 2. And after a half inning of play, it's the Hollywood Avengers nothing. Cincinnati coming to bat. So on the mound for the Avengers is Star-Lord Peter Quill, a.k.a. Chris Pratt, making his 11th start of the season. The record is 5-0 with 3.48 earned run average. And leading off for the Cincinnati Reds is Lou Brock hitting 224, 6 homers, 13 runs batted in. Pratt's a left-handed pitcher. And that's a deep drive on the first pitch of the ball game. Back goes Sebastian Stan. It's gone. First pitch, leadoff home run for Lou Brock. Home run number 7 on the season. And just like that, here in the bottom of the first, before an out is recorded for the Reds, they take a 1-0 lead. That's a rude welcome for the Avengers here in Great American Ballpark. Here's the replay. Bang. Oof. Took him downtown. So next up is Cesar Hernandez, the second baseman, hitting .266, 3 homers, 19 runs batted in. Comes the pitch from Chris Pratt. Pops him up in the infield. Over there is Tony Stark. Downey Jr. makes the catch for the first out of the ball game. First out for the Reds. So the lineup for the Reds: Lou Brock led off with a home run. Cesar Hernandez just popped out. He plays second. Mickey Mantle is the center fielder. Delson Cruz is in right. Alex Bregman's at third. Josh Bell is at first. Corey Seager's at shortstop. DH is Starling Marte. Batting ninth and catching is MJ Melendez. So with 1 out, up steps Mickey Mantle, hitting .328, 17 homers, 40 runs batted in. Here comes a pitch from Pratt. That's a deep drive the other way. Back goes Sebastian Stan to the wall, looking up, making the catch with his hand on the wall for out number 2. He gave it a ride, but just died at the warning track. So with 2 down and bases empty, up steps Nelson Cruz, the right fielder. Nelson's hitting .271, 13 homers, 35 runs batted in. Here comes the pitch. Cut fastball inside, ball 1. And he hits it the other way, but it's a foul ball. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. And he pulls the changeup foul. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Cruz. Circle change is outside. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty. Bottom of the first, Cincinnati has a 1-0 lead here in this 4th game of a 4-game set. Just gets a piece of the fastball to stay alive. Count remains 2-2. So the Reds are up 2-1 in this 4-game set. They're trying to take 3 out of 4. The Avengers are trying to split it 2 games apiece. That's a deep drive. He waited on the curveball, blasted it to left center field. That ball is gone. That's the 2nd home run in the inning. Solo shot from Nelson Cruz, his 14th of the season. And the Cincinnati Reds have a 2-0 lead. Here's the replay. So I hit, I pitch, I field, I do not run the bases. I let the computer run the bases for me. And the difficulty setting for both hitting and pitching is set to All-Star. Once a game, I like to show that just for accountability's sake. So let's hit pause and go over to options, gameplay. Hitting difficulty is at All-Star. And as you can see, pitching difficulty is at All-Star. I like to show that once a game. So next up is the 3rd baseman, Alex Bregman, hitting .239, 6 homers, 21 runs batted in. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. At the knees, strike 1. Alex Bregman won the Silver Slugger Award in 2019 over at 3rd base in the American League. Checks his swing, but the knuckler floats in there for strike 2. Count is no balls and 2 strikes. Yanks the cut fastball down the left field line. Out of play. Count remains 0-2. And that's a line drive the other way down into the right field corner. Racing over is the Winter Soldier. Big turn at first is heading to second. The throw to second is offline. It's a 2-out double for Alex Bregman, his 7th of the season. And the inning continues. 2 solo homers and now a double. They have the third run of the inning in scoring position. Is the replay. So next up is the switch hitter Josh Bell, hitting from the right side against the lefty Pratt, who honestly didn't take much out of the bullpen, it seems. Circle change outside, ball 1. And we're going to send the pitching coach to the mound to talk it over, calm him down. Josh Bell's hitting .282 on the season. He's the first baseman. And hopefully that was enough to calm him down. Fouls off the fastball, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh Bell. Knucklers outside, 2-1. Grounder to the second baseman, fielded by Clark Gregg, throws to first, and the side is retired, but not before the Cincinnati Reds, on the back of 2 solo home runs at the end of 1, have an early 2-0 lead. This is Avengers Baseball. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video, please subscribe. So we go to the top of the second inning. Up steps Idris Elba, who is super hot in his last 9 games. Overall, he's hitting .304, 3 homers, 22 runs batted in. Elba played Hemidal in the Thor franchise in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He leads off here in the top of the second. Outside corner with the fastball, strike 1. So Elba's 14 for his last 30. That's a .467 clip. So he is smoking hot. Inside off the plate, counts 1 ball and 1 strike.
Nope.
Fastball's high, 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike, and count.
Outside, hitters count, 3 balls, 1 strike. The Winter Soldier is on deck, Sebastian Stan. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Nola. And he fouls back the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Elba. Here comes the payoff pitch. Just gets a piece of the changeup to stay alive. So it's a 2-0 lead for Cincinnati here in the top of the second. Outside and high, ball 4. So Nola walks the leadoff man. Runner at first for the Avengers. Next up is the right fielder Sebastian Stan. He plays the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's a part-time player, hitting .317, 2 homers, 7 RBIs. He's giving Dave Bautista a day off in right field today. And he slices it down the first base line, out of play, strike 1. Sebastian 7 for his last 16. That's a .437 clip. Elba leads off first. Chases a fastball out of the zone. The count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And it's a high, deep drive towards the left center field gap, but playable. Mansell makes the catch for out number 1. Elba retreats to first. Defensive alignment for the Reds in the outfield from left to right is Lou Brock, Mickey Mansell, and Nelson Cruz. In the infield, Bregman, Seager, Hernandez, Josh Bell at first, with MJ Melendez behind home plate. And that is the defense for the Cincinnati Reds. Next up is Clark Gregg, hitting .233, no homer, 6 RBIs. Pitches inside, ball 1. Clark Gregg plays Phil Coulson, the agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's a slow bouncer to the second baseman. Cesar Hernandez fields, fires, got him. So runner moves into second, scoring position, but there are 2 away here in the top of the second inning. So next up is the center fielder, the number 9 hitter, Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle plays War Machine in the MCU. He's hitting .331, 8 homers, 33 runs batted in. Runner in scoring position at second with 2 away. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Nola. Inside off the plate, ball one. Don is the April Rookie of the Month. We're in the end of May, so. Changeup hits the outside corner, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Don Cheadle was not the first man to play James Rhodes in the MCU. First person was Terrence Howard. Then he fouls back the fastball behind home plate, count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. First it was Terrence Howard in the first Iron Man, and then going forward it became Don Cheadle. Fouls it back again. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on War Machine. Change up inside, count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the second. 2-0 lead for the MCU. Check that, 2-0 lead for Cincinnati. Wishful thinking. Runner leads off second. Here comes the pitch from Nola. Checks his swing. Did he go? He did not go, according to the third base umpire. Count will go full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch. And that's a line drive, base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Idris Elba. It will be an RBI single for Don Cheadle. And the lead is cut in half. It's Cincinnati now leading 2-1. Nice 2-out hit from War Machine. Here's the replay. Low pitch, serves it into left center field. Just out of the reach of the shortstop. Anthony Mackie, the leadoff man, is up for a second plate appearance. He's 0 for 1 today. Flew out in the first. Fastball is low, ball 1. Anthony is 5 for 11 in this series with 2 home runs. So Cheadle is at first, 2 away here in the top of the second. Low and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Tying runs at first. Ooh, finds the outside corner for strike. Count as 2 balls and 1 strike. Tough pitch. Right on the edge. And this is a deep drive, but playable for Nelson in right. He makes the catch to retire the side. So they get a run on the RBI single by Don Cheadle. And after 1.5 innings of play here at Great American Ballpark, it's Cincinnati 2, the Avengers 1. So we go to the bottom of the second. Up steps the shortstop Corey Seager, hitting .240, 8 homers, 27 runs batted in. Here comes a pitch from Pratt. Fouls off the fastball, 97 on the radar gun, strike 1. Cut fastball in there, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the Avengers are 35 and 18. That's good for first place in the National League West. It's a created franchise that have taken the place of the San Diego Padres. Ground ball up the middle, racing over is the new Captain America. He cuts the check. There's out number 1. Defensive alignment for the Avengers in the outfield from left field to right is Idris Elba, Don Cheadle, and Sebastian Stan. And in the infield from third base over, Chadwick Boseman, Anthony Mackie, Clark Gregg, Robert Downey Jr., with the first Avenger, Chris Evans, behind home plate. So with 1 down here in the bottom of the second, up steps the DH Starling Marte, 288, 4 homers, 13 runs batted in. Here's a pitch from Peter Quill. Pops him up near the first base line. Robert Downey Jr. is there in foul territory, makes the catch for out number 2. So the number 9 hitter, the catcher, M.J. Melendez, sitting a $169 on the season. Steps in there with 2 away and bases empty. 2-1 lead for Cincinnati. Knuckler just floats in there for the strike 1. Just gets a piece of the circle change. Count will quickly fall to no balls and 2 strikes on Melendez. Swing and a miss. The cut fastball struck him out swinging. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Chris Pratt. And after 2 innings of baseball here in Great American Ballpark, it's Cincinnati 2, MCU 1. Leading off in the top of the third is Chadwick Boseman. He singled in the first. Chadwick is, and always will be, Black Panther in my eyes. Swing and a miss at the high fastball, strike one. Of course, they're going to recast or do something with Black Panther 2, but pitch is low, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Sadly, Chadwick, we lost him in 2020 to colon cancer. Bouncer to his counterpart at third, charging his Bregman, long throw in time, and there's 1 out here in the top of the third.
Now batting.
Next up is Robert Downey Jr. He struck out in the first, struck out looking. Aaron Nola deals. And he slices it. It looks like it's going to drop in there and roll past him. Tony Stark makes the turn at first, heads to second. It's a 1-out double for Iron Man. It was a bloop. Could have held him to a single, but Mickey Mantle, the center fielder, thought that he could make the diving catch. And instead of a single, he gets himself a double, so there's a runner in scoring position. Here with 1 out in the top of the third, Chris Evans is up. He walked in his first at-bat, no official at-bat. Misses inside, ball 1. That is the tying run at second. Fouls off the fastball, outside. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Steve Rogers. And he's a little late on the fastball. Lazy fly ball to center. Mantle is there. He makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting. Number 84.
So next up is the DH, Mark Ruffalo. He's 3 for 14 in this series. He has a triple. He's 0 for 1 today. Runner in scoring position, but 2 away. Fastball outside, ball 1. Mark leads the team with 10 homers. And that's a deep drive the other way. Back goes Nelson looking up. It's Gonzo. That's a 2-run home run for Mark Ruffalo. His 11th of the season. And just like that, the Avengers now have a 3-2 lead. That was a deep drive the other way that the wind just took out of this ballpark. So here in the top of the third, the Avengers now have a 3-2 lead. Let's watch the replay. At first I thought that it might be caught at the wall, and then it just kept on going. Nice diving, nice jumping attempt, but not enough glove. So next up with 2 down, Idris Elba, who walked in the second. And he pops him up in the infield. Josh Bell, the first baseman, is there to retire the side. But a 2-run home run by the Incredible Hulk smash. And after 2.5 innings of play, it's the Avengers 3, the Reds 2. So the leadoff man for the Reds steps in there for his second plate appearance. He had a solo homer in the first to lead off the game. 3-2 lead for the Avengers here in the bottom of the third. Tries to bunt his way on, and the ball will be low, foul for strike 1. Swing and a miss out in front of the changeup. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Lou. That's a line drive base hit, and Lou Brock is 2 for 2. It's a leadoff single for the Cincinnati Reds here in the bottom of the third. Hits leaders on the Reds. Mickey Mantle leads the ball club with 64 hits. As you can see, Lou is on that list. He's third, now with 51 hits. So next up is the second baseman, Cesar Hernandez, who's 0 for 1 with a pop out. Changeup floats in there for strike 1. Quick throw to first. He's back. Pops him up. The runner was in motion. Nice catch, but of course he retreats to first base. That's the first out of the inning off the bat of Hernandez. Nice play by Iron Man at first. A hit and run, obviously. Next up is the switch-hitting center fielder, Mickey Mantle. Is 0 for 1 with a flyout. He's hitting from the right side against the lefty. And he's going again. The throw to second is not in time, and Lou has a stolen base here with 1 away. No chance for the captain to throw him out. So runner in scoring position with 1 away here in the top of the third. That's the tying run at second for Mantle. Here comes the pitch. Checks the swing, but the knuckler's in there for strike 2. And he slices the ball deep, but foul and out of play. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle was an all-star and a Hall of Famer for the New York Yankees in the 60s and 70s. Swing and a miss struck him out on the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And there are 2 away here in the bottom of the third. That's Pratt's second strikeout of the ballgame.
Right fielder, Nelson Cruz.
So with 2 outs, up steps Nelson Cruz, the right fielder. He has a solo home run today. 2 for 12 with 2 homers in this series. Swing and a miss at the fastball, strike 1. Out in front of the circle change. Quickly, there are 2 strikes on Cruz. A lot of speed at second base in Lou Brock. On a single, he may score the tying run. Slices out of play down the third base line. Count remains 0-2 on Cruz. Slicing down the right field line, foul territory, and we'll do it again. Grounds it down. This time he pulled it down the third base line, just foul. Jammed him inside, up the first base line, out of play. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Just gets a piece of the circle change. Battle. It's a battle between Cruz and Chris Pratt. Out in front of the circle change, struck him out swinging, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on at the end of 3 innings of play. It's Cincinnati losing 3-2. So we go to the top of the 4th. Up steps Sebastian Stan, who is 0 for 1 with a flyout. He plays the Winter Soldier in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Pitch is high, ball 1. Sebastian Stan. It's just in Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney+. And it is a pop fly. Nice running catch by Nelson Cruz in right for the first out.
Now batting, number 85.
Next up is Clark Gregg. Phil Coulson. Grounded out in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Here comes the pitch. Way out in front of the knuckler. Chase the pitch, strike 1. Fastball outside, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Out in front of the changeup, swing and a miss, strike 2. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out on the knuckle curve. And there's 2 away here in the Top of the fourth. That's Aaron Nola's second strikeout of the ball game. Just way out in front of that knuckle curve. So with 2 down, up steps Don Cheadle, who has an RBI single today. In the dirt, ball 1. Don is hitting .335 on the season. Two-seam fastball hits the outside corner. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on War Machine. Strike 2. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little late on the fastball, slicing into the seats, out of play. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty, top of the fourth. That's a deep drive, but it will curl out of play, and the count will remain 1-2. So it's a 3-2 lead for the MCU here in the top of the fourth. Bases empty, 2 outs.
Nope, that's down.
Fastball low, count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count, 3-2. On deck is the man who plays Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie. And he fouls back the knuckle curve behind home plate, and the full count will continue. It's 3-2. Hard ground ball backhanded by Cesar at second, throws to first in time, and the side is retired. So, after 3.5, it's the Hollywood Avengers 3, Cincinnati Reds 2. Please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Yes, of course, this is not Mass Effect, this is Avengers Baseball. Alex Bregman leads off the bottom of the fourth. He had a double in the first inning. He is 1 for 1. Here comes the pitch from Chris Pratt. At the knees, strike 1. Chases a knuckler high and swing and a miss. 2 quick strikes on Bregman. Hard ground ball, base hit through the box and into center field. It is a leadoff single for Bregman. And the Cincinnati Reds have the leadoff man on. The tying run is at first here in the bottom of the fourth inning. There's a replay. So next up is Josh Bell, the switch hitter. 0 for 1 with the ground out. And that is a shallow fly ball. Makes the catch in right field is Bucky Barnes, out number 1. Next up is the shortstop Corey Seager, who's 0 for 1 with the ground out. Left-handed hitter against the lefty on the mound. Knuckleball's in there, strike 1. Corey's 8 for his last 19. That's a .419 clip, so he's been hot lately. Change-up is low, checks his swing. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Grounder to first, throws to second for 1, back to first. A 3-6-3 double play by Tony Stark to retire the side. At the end of 4 innings of play, the Hollywood Avengers lead by 1. So we go to the top of the 5th. Leading off is Anthony Mackie. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts today. Anthony Mackie is the new Captain America. Grounds it to first, 2-hopper to Josh Bell. Race to the bag, he gets there in time, and 1 pitch, 1 away here in the top of the 5th. Mackie is now 0 for 3. Next up is the late, great Chadwick Boseman. 1 for 2 with a single. He's hitting .362 on the season. Comes the pitch from Nola. And he pops him up in the infield on the left side. Bregman's there, and there's 2 away. So with 2 away and bases empty, up steps Robert Downey Jr. 1 for 2 with a double. He did score a run. And he yanks it. Covering, oh no, he takes it himself. Josh Bell makes the play, races him to the bag. 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Nola. After 4.5, it's The Avengers leading 3-2. We go to the bottom of the fifth, and we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Heidi Watney. But unfortunately, Heidi, we apologize. There seems to be something wrong with your microphone. We will send a technician down there to check it out. But in the meantime, we go back to the plate. Up steps the DH Starling Marte, who's 3 for 12. He has 2 homers in this series. But he's 0 for 1 today. He leads off here in the bottom of the fifth. Misses low, ball 1. Knuckler's in there. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. That is a lazy fly ball towards the left center field gap. Racing over is War Machine. Don Cheadle makes the catch for out number 1 here in the bottom of the fifth.
Now batting.
Next up is the number 9 hitter, MJ Melendez. The catcher was 0 for 1 with the strikeout in the second. Peter Quill deals. In there, strike 1.
0-1.
Welcome to the stream. This is Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. He pops it up. Star-Lord says, "I'll take it myself." He makes the catch for out number 2.
The left fielder, number 20.
So with 2 outs and bases empty, the lineup turns over for the Cincinnati Reds. Up steps Lou Brock, who's 2 for 2 with a homer today. Here comes the pitch from Star-Lord. Knuckler's in there for strike 1. Grounder. Diving play past the dive from Phil Coulson and into right field. It's a 2-out single, and Lou Brock is now 3 for 3 today, as the inning will continue for the Cincinnati Reds. Just pulls it through the right side between Tony Stark and Phil Coulson at first and second. So next up is the second baseman, Cesar Hernandez, who's 0 for 2 today. Steps up with runner at first and 2 away here in the bottom of the fifth. It's a 3-2 lead for the MCU. And he swings at the first pitch and floats it down the left field line. There is Idris Elba to make the catch and retire the side. So it's an official ball game. 5 innings complete. The end of 5, it's the Avengers leading 3-2. Thank you for joining the stream. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. It's baseball, Avengers baseball. So we go to the top of the 6th. Up steps the first Avenger, Chris Evans, who walked in the first. Officially, he's 0 for 1. Leads off. Fouls off the knuckle curve for strike 1. He has 6 RBIs in his last 4 games, so he's been somewhat productive. Pitches outside, count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Steve Rogers. Deep drive the other way, but playable for Lou Brock. Makes the catch for out number 1. Next up is the Incredible Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, who in his last at-bat hit this the other way to give the Avengers a 3-run lead. Check that, a 3-2 lead on this 2-run home run the opposite way. Hopefully he can repeat those results. He's 1 for 2. That's a deep drive, but playable for the center fielder, Mickey Mantle. And he makes the catch for out number 2. 2 quick outs here for Aaron Nola and the Cincinnati Reds.
Now batting, number 63.
Next up is Idris Elba, who walked and scored a run. Officially, he is 0 for 1 in this ball game. 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 6th.
Nope, that's a ball.
Change up outside, ball 1. It's a 3-2 lead for the MCU. This is the 4th game of a 4-game series. And it is a slow bouncer to the shortstop. Corey Seager throws to first, scooped out of the dirt by Josh Bell, and the side is retired after 5.5 innings of play. The Avengers lead 3-2. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Up steps Mickey Mantle. It's 0 for 2 today.
Leading off for the Reds, the
Chris
third
Pratt
baseman,
is still out there pitching.
Mantle.
At the knees, strike 1, 95 on the radar gun.
No, that's
Cut fastball is low. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And he tries to slap the knuckleball, but hits it foul upstairs behind home plate. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Mick. Circle change outside. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Late on the fastball, hits it foul. Count remains 2-2. So the Reds won the first 2 games of this series 2-1 and 6-4. The Avengers came back and won game 3, 9-6 in extra innings, in 10 innings. So this game determines whether or not it'll be a 4-game split, or the Reds will win 3 out of 4. Count even at 2-2 on the Mick. Just gets a piece of the knuckler to stay alive. Avengers are in first place in their division with 35-18 record. They have been placed, a creative franchise placed in the National League West. Here comes pitch number 9 in this at-bat. It's been a battle. And again, he fouls off the changeup. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he pops him up. Short right field. Greg is there. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting, the right fielder.
Next up is Nelson Cruz, who's 1 for 2 with a solo home run in the first. Nelson has 14 home runs on the season. Comes the pitch from Star-Lord. Knuckler floats in there for strike 1. Vulcan change in there for strike 2. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. And that's a line drive. Base hit to right field. Big turn at first, but he will hold. It is a 1-out single for Nelson Cruz, and he's 2 for 3 today.
Third baseman number 2.
Just hard smash to the right side. Here's the replay. So next up is the third baseman, Alex Bregman, who's 2 for 2 today, a single and a double. Runner at first, 1 away. Tying run is at first base. Inside corner with the fastball, strike 1. That's a deep drive. It is slicing, just foul. Inches from being a 4-3 lead for Cincinnati here in the 6th. But it's instead strike 2. So the count is no balls and 2 strikes on Bregman. And he just gets a piece of the changeup to stay alive. Count remains 0-2. So it's a 3-2 lead for the Avengers here in the bottom of the 6th. 1 out, runner at first. Jams him inside with the fastball, fouls it out of play. Misses with the fastball outside. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Over to second for 1. Back to first. Scooped out for a double play. It's around the horn. 5-4-3 double play to retire the side. Chadwick Boseman over to Greg. And finishing up with Robert Downey Jr. with the nice scoop out of the dirt. So we go to the top of the 7th. In comes Tyler Thornburg out of the bullpen for the Reds. He's 3-1 with a 3.32 earned run average. And leading off here in the top of the 7th is Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier. He's 0 for 2 today.
The right fielder, number 16.
He swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Cesar Hernandez is underneath it. Second baseman makes the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 away.
Now batting, number 85.
So the Reds bullpen is still active. Colin McHugh and Tyler Lyons is up. Clark Gregg with 1 out. He's 0 for 2, steps up to the plate. Pitches inside and low, ball 1. There's the Reds bullpen. Again, lefty and a righty. McHugh and Lyons. Pops him up. In foul territory, racing over is the catcher. Diving catch, does not make the play. And it is strike 1. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nice attempt by Melendez. Checks the swing, pitches low and outside. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Slicing down the right field line, out of play. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Checks the swing, curveball's low, count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch from Thornburg. And he swings at the pitch, and it is a lazy fly ball to center field. Mantle is there for out number 2.
Now batting, number 10.
So next up is Don Cheadle. He's 1 for 2. He's an RBI single today. He's 4 for 10 in the series. 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 7th. And he jams him. Looks like an easy play. No, it dunks in there for a single. It's a 2-out single for Don Cheadle. Jammed him, but got just enough of it to dunk it into right field for a bloop base hit. So the inning will continue for the Avengers here in the top of the 7th. 2 outs, and up steps Anthony Mackie, who's 0 for 3 today. Oh, he's going in there for a strike. Throw down to second is high. He is in there with the stolen base. Cheadle is now in scoring position. Bloop base hit, stolen base, and now in scoring position for Anthony Mackie. Count is 0-1. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Melendez. No advance. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Anthony Mackie's hitting .429 with runners in scoring position so far this season. So he's comfortable with that runner up at second base. High, 2 balls and 1 strike. It's an important insurance run at second base. It's a 3-2 lead for the Avengers. Low and outside, knocked away. He's going to third. Quick throw to third is in the dirt, not in time. So it's a bloop base hit, a stolen base, advances to third on the wild pitch, 90 feet from home plate. 3-1 count is a hitter's count to Mackie. Here comes the pitch. And he deep drive, but will curl out of play, foul ball. And the count will go full, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Mackie. Just gets a piece of the changeup to stay alive. Count remains full, 3-2. Runner at third, 2 away. And he yanks it. This one's got a chance. It is gone. That ball is gone. It is a 2-run home run for the new Captain America, Anthony Mackie. Cut the check. Home run number 7 on the season. And just like that, with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning, the Avengers now lead 5-2. Let's look at the replay. Line drive home run just over the fence. Bang. Look at that. Just made itself over that yellow line in the bullpen. So it's 5-2 Avengers here. Chadwick is up. It's 1 for 3. Late on the fastball, fouls it back for strike 1. 2 outs, bases empty. 3-run lead for the MCU. Pitches low, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. That's a hard ground ball to the shortstop. Seager has it, throws to first, in time, side retired, but not before the 2-out, 2-run home run by Anthony Mackie. Get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. Time for the 7th inning stretch. It's a 3-run lead for the Avengers. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Josh Bell's 0 for 2. He leads off for the Reds. I would have thought about taking him out, but in there with the cut fastball, strike one. Now I'll push him another inning. Chris Pratt, that is, because now he's got a 3-run lead. But I'll keep an eye on him. Short leash. Deep drive. Left center field, back to the track. The wall looking up. On the warning track, Elba makes the catch for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
The batter, number 6.
Next up is Corey Seager. He's got 2 groundouts today. He's 0 for 2. Knuckler floats in there for strike 1. Pulls it foul up the first base line, out of play. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Seager. Just misses outside with the cut fastball. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swinging and miss out in front of the circle change. Struck him out swinging. And there's 2 away here in the 7th. That's Chris Pratt's 4th strikeout of the game. So Chris Pratt gives up 2 solo home runs in the bottom of the 1st and then holds them right there here into the 7th. So next up is the DH Starling Marte. 0 for 2 today. Change up in there, strike 1. Swinging to miss out in front of the changeup. Count is 0 and 2 on Marte. Chases a 5 fastball, fouls it back behind home plate. Count remains 0 and 2. So it's a 3-run lead for the Avengers here in the bottom of the 7th. Slow roller to the second baseman, Clark Gregg fields, fires, got him. And the side is retired. So at the end of 7, it's the Avengers 5, the Reds 2. Okay, so as we go to the top of the 8th and Tyler Lyons steps on the mound for the Reds, we are going to go to the bullpen and we're going to send up lefty-lefty switch. So we're going to send Josh Brolin. We're going to warm him up. Josh Brolin, we're going to schedule to put him in the game. Josh is going to pitch the 8th inning. So leading off here in the top of the 8th is Robert Downey Jr., who's 1 for 3. Fastball outside corner, strike 1.
That's the ball.
Checks his swing, sliders low. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Attendance 20,831 here at Great American Ballpark. It's not a sellout. I find that hard to believe, but fouls off the breaking ball. Count is 1 and 2 on Tony Stark. Backs him off the plate, 2 and 2. So if the actors from the Marvel Cinematic Universe was playing baseball, pitches outside, count goes full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Captain America, or at least the first Avenger. And that's a deep drive. It is high. It is far. It is gonzo. That is a solo home run for Iron Man. He is Iron Man, number 5 on the season. And the Avengers now have a 6-2 advantage. Here's the replay. Ooh. Projected 397. It's now a 4-run lead. And there's the reaction from Lyons. Doesn't seem happy. Next up is Chris Evans. Switch hitter hitting now from the right side against the lefty. Hard line drive, 1 hop to the shortstop. Seager throws across in time. 1 away.
Now batter, number 84.
Next up is Mark Ruffalo, 1 for 3, but that one was a big one, a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. And that's a deep drive. Over in the right center field gap is Mickey Mantle. Make the catch for out number 2.
Now batting, number 50.
After the home run by Robert Downey Jr., 2 quick outs. Next up is Idris Elba, who is 0 for 2 officially. He has walked and scored a run. His average sits at exactly 300 at the moment. Grounder to third. Easy play for Bregman. Throws across. And the side is retired. But they add to their lead. They get an insurance run thanks to this. A solo shot by Robert Downey Jr. The end of... No, check that. After 7.5 innings of play, it's the Avengers 6. The Reds 2. Do you want to change pictures? Yes, I do. In comes the actor who played Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's Josh Brolin, who's 2-0 with a 4.26 earned run average. He will pitch the bottom of the 8th. And leading off is MJ Melendez, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 12-6 curveball, low, ball 1. Let's go to the bullpen, manager, bullpen, and we're going to warm up 2 guys. We're going to warm up Stan Lee. We're going to warm up Jeremy Renner. Just in case. No. Sit down. We're going to warm up Stan Lee. And you know what? Yeah. We'll warm them both up. Okay. Let's do that. Swing and a miss. It's 2-seam fastball. Strike 1. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on the catcher. Swings over the top of the split finger fastball. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And it is a fly ball to right. There is the Winter Soldier. He makes the catch for out number 1. The line for Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He is in line for his 6th win of the season. He's in line to be a 6-0 pitcher. Next up is Lou Brock. He's 3 for 3 today with a homer and 2 singles. He has been hot. 2-seamer is low, ball 1. And he yanks the splitter foul down the right field line. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Out in front of the fastball. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Brock. Ground ball, base hit through the box. He's 4 for 4 today. And that is another single for Lou Brock. He has a homer and 3 singles. And with 1 out, the Reds have a base runner. Here we go. Past the diving attempt by Sam Wilson at shortstop. So next up is Cesar Hernandez, the switch hitter, batting from the right side against the lefty. And that is a pop-up past the... is a bloop base hit to center field. He's going to third, so it'll be first and third with 1 out. Just like that, they got a runner at third in less than 2 outs. Just a bloop to center field out of the reach of Clark Gregg at second base. So here we have Mickey Mantle hitting from the right side against the lefty pitcher. He's 0 for 3 today. He is not the tying run. Fouls the 2-seam fastball back, strike 1. Splitter in there at the knees. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes to the Mantle. Jams him. Long run towards that Bermuda Triangle out there, but he makes the catch. Nice play by Sam Wilson. Anthony Mackie cuts the check, and there's 2 away. The runner does not score from third base. Jams him inside, pops him up. Had a chance to drop in there, but Anthony Mackie made the catch for the second out. So next up is Nelson Cruz. Nelson has a lot of power. He's 2 for 3. He has a home run today. 2 homers in this series. And that will be all. Bullpen will go for a 4-out save. Jeremy Renner is coming in to pitch. Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, is the closer. This is his 16th appearance. He is 0-2 on the season. He has 10 saves and 12 save opportunities. He has a high ERA, 6.94. He has 19 strikeouts in just under 12 innings pitched, but his season so far has been up and down. Swing and a miss at the 100-mile-an-hour fastball, strike one. Nelson Cruz is hitting .333 with runners in scoring position this season. Runners are at first and third with two away here in the bottom of the eighth. And he fouls off the two-seamer. Count is 0-2 on Cruz. Cruz is your prototypical high strikeout, 40 home run guy. Jams him inside, fouls it off. Count remains 0-2. It's a 6-2 lead for the MCU. Tying run has not come to the plate yet. Misses with the fastball outside. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss at the slider. Struck him out swinging, and they strand the runners at first and third. So we're going to go to the top of the ninth. The Avengers have a 4-run lead. It's the MCU 6, Cincinnati 2. So we go to the top of the ninth. In relief comes Colin McHugh. He's pitched in 27 games this season. It's 2-2 with a 7.39 earned run average. And leading off here in the ninth for the Avengers is Sebastian Stan. He is 0 for 3 today in right field. A little late on the fastball. Fouls it up the first base line for strike one. Marvel leads 6-2 here in this getaway game for this 4-game series. Out in front of the slider, strike two. 2 quick strikes. Yesterday, McHugh gave up 2 solo home runs to lose a 4-2 lead. Just gets a piece of the cut fastball to stay alive. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Sebastian. He came in with a 4-2 lead, proceeded to give up 2 home runs. And that's a drive to center, playable for Mantle. And there's one away. Next up is Clark Gregg. Clark's hitting only .212 on the season. His backup player is 0 for 3 today. He is given a day off to the second baseman, Tom Holland. And that's a base hit, and he's 1 for 4. So it's a 1-out single for Phil Coulson, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that average at .212 will go up. Next up is Don Cheadle, 2 for 3, 2 singles and an RBI. Pitches outside, ball 1. Don is hitting .337 on the season. Runner at first here in the top of the ninth. 1 away. Fastball's low, 2 balls and no strikes. 3-0 count. Will he have the green light on 3 balls and no strikes? No, he will not, because they don't swing on 3 balls and no strike. I always take a pitch. In there, strike 1. So now the hitters count 3 balls and 1 strike, and the handcuffs are off. All bets are off. Let's go. But that's low. Ball 4. And with 1 out here in the top of the ninth, the Avengers have runners at first and second. And up will step Anthony Mackie, who is 1 for 4 today. He had a 2-run home run in the 7th inning to give them a 5-2 lead at that point. Outside corner with the fastball, strike 1. He's hitting .440 with runners in scoring position. If you've seen The Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, you know that he is the new Captain America. Inside, count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Sorry for the spoiler, but hopefully by now you've seen the video and you know. Outside, count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Anthony Mackie. He is Sam Wilson. He is the former Falcon. He is now Captain America. Pitch is high, 3-1 count. Runners at first and second. On deck is the late, great Chadwick Boseman. T'Challa. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. And that's a smash to center, but I think that's going to hang up there. And it will for Mickey Mantle for out number 2. No advance on the bases. Hit it right on the nose, but right at the center fielder for out number 2. So next up is Chadwick Boseman, who singled in the first inning. He's 1 for 4. He's 4 for 18 in this series. So another insurance run at second. And that's a one-hopper to Cesar. He throws to second for the force to retire the side. So last licks for the Cincinnati Reds. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Avengers lead by 4. This is Avengers Baseball. Thank you for watching. So, leading off is Alex Bregman, the third baseman. He is 2 for 3. The closer, Jeremy Renner. Hawkeye is in there for a 4-out save. He came in with 2 outs in the 8th. Fastball outside corner, strike 1. Swing and a miss, a 2-seam fastball. Count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Slider outside, count is 1 and 2. Jeremy has 10 saves in 12 save opportunities. 2 blown saves are also 2 losses. Swing and a miss, the inside fastball struck him out on the 101-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's the replay. So there's 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. Next up is Josh Bell, hitting from the left side against the righty Jeremy Renner. It's 0 for 3 today. Misses inside, ball 1. Slider is low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. That's a line drive. But right there is Idris Elba in left. He barely has to move for the second out. And the Cincinnati Reds are down to their final out of this 4-game series. 2 outs here in the ninth. Up next is Corey Seager, who represents the final out of the game. Here comes the pitch. 2-seam fastball outside corner, strike 1. And he grounds it up the first base line. It is a foul ball. Count is 0 and 2. And the Cincinnati Reds are down to their final strike. And he hits it high and deep, curling towards the pole. It is gone. It hits off the foul pole for a 2-out solo home run. Corey Seager's 9th of the season. And the score is now 6-3 Avengers here in the 9th inning. So Jeremy Renner gets the first 2 outs easily and then serves up a solo home run down the right field line that hits the foul pole. Had a chance to go foul, but doink. As you can hear it. So next up is Starling Marte. Starling represents the final out of the game. He's 0 for 3. Swinging and a miss at the slider, strike 1. Out in front of the slider as well. Again, he's quickly down 0 and 2. Again, the Reds are down to their final strike. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ball game over. Avengers win 6-3. And they win this getaway game and split this 4-game series at 2 games apiece. Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, Peter Quill in the Marvel Cinematic Universe gets his 6th win against no losses. He's 6-0 on the season on the mound. The save goes to Jeremy Renner, who's now 11 saves on the season out of 13 attempts. And here is the scorecard. Hollywood Avengers, 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Cincinnati Reds, 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Chris Pratt gets the win at 6th. Aaron Nola gets the loss. It's loss number 5. Jeremy Renner gets the save. It's number 11 on the season for him. And the player of the game is Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark. 2 for 4 with a homer, a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. He is your player of the game. He is Iron Man. And that was Avengers Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. That's win number 36 on the season against 18 losses. That is game number 54. It's my intention to play 162 games. No skipped innings, no simulated games, all 162 on YouTube for you to watch, and hopefully the playoffs and the World Series. We'll see what happens. If you're not into baseball, please feel free to check out some of the other playlists on my YouTube channel. We've got a lot going on, a lot of different types of playlists. You are welcome to look. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time and the energy to watch, especially the Outlander Show, who always shows his support. Please check out their YouTube channel as well. He's got a lot of interesting stuff going on over there on the Outlander Show. So, the final here at Great American Ballpark. Hollywood Avengers win 6-3. Thank you so much for showing up, and I will see you again soon.